Let's go live now to Lagos, where we'll find our correspondent, Adaure Achumba. Adaure, are Nigerians taking these elections as seriously as they did the presidential elections a couple of weeks ago?
You know, that's something that many analysts are asking and trying to figure out why the gubernatorial elections, even though it's the more important of the two election cycles because of the influence that these governors wield, why is it that people still don't turn out? Throughout the day, across the country, that has been the narrative for this election, the low turnout. We haven't seen that the monumental turnout that we witnessed in the last election, even though that one was also deemed pretty low compared to previous elections. This one has actually been quite disappointing. We've been to many polling centers where we visited the last election to see that the crowds have been cut down by at least half, and in some places places that had about 300 people in those polling centers. Well, we're seeing as little as 100 people turning up. So it has been the narrative across many parts of the country. There are some areas where we're still witnessing some large turnout, but overall there's still the same issues of low turnouts happening on this election.
And tell us about these biometric voter cards, which are being used again despite the problems with their debut in last month's presidential elections.
Well, the biometric card readers are a very new innovation for this election cycle. It's the first time that it's being used in this election cycle. It was used in the presidential election, and we saw what happened there. Just about 0.5% of the entire supply of card readers didn't work. And it was, of course, highlighted when the president himself could not get accredited using the biometric card reader. Instead, they had to go to the manual process. We visited some polling units today, and we're also still getting that same problem. However, the officials aren't spending too much time trying to figure out how to fix the situation. Instead, they're reverting straight to the manual process after trying, a second or a third time. The first polling center we were at today, the same thing happened, but they quickly reverted to the manual system. And of course, it really helped that for today's election, the INEC officials, many of them showed up early in their polling units. So really, the biometric card reader has been hailed as a good introduction because it is now it is being used to prevent any fraudulent activity, having people double voting, having people using other people's voters' cards as well. That has really definitely made the process less likely to be rigged than the old-fashioned way.
So when are results expected?
Well, results start trickling in as soon as the last voter votes in line at the different polling units. Now, over here, we can see the polling just actually commenced about 30 minutes ago. Once the voters are completed the process of casting their ballots, at the very end, they're all going to gather and start doing the counting here at the polling units themselves. We've seen that happen with the last election. So the first results will come out of this polling unit at the end of the exercise at 5 p.m. local, depending on when the last voter is able to cast their ballot. And then it is taken on to a collation center on the local ward level and then on to the state level. So we will be seeing results coming out as early as this evening into the late night hours, and at the latest we start getting declarations by Sunday or Monday.
Adaure Achumba live in Lagos. Thank you.